Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 108 of the Topless Robot Podcast. My name is Ryan.
I'm Tyler.
I feel immeasurable disappointment.
And I know my place.
That's right.
I will wait until everyone has spoken.
Anywhere you belong, Kalen.
I'm Kalen.
Sexy beast that's sitting in at repose, like a la Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Did you guys see he recreated that pose on the set of the latest Jurassic Park movie or Jurassic World movie or whatever the fuck they're called?
He has not aged other than his hair, and even that just become more just grayish. But it's like that old kind of good-looking kind of age. It's not fair.
I feel like he has gotten more eccentric with age, or at least we are now more aware of his eccentricities.
I have a feeling.
Well, yeah, he's not asked to be anything but eccentric. Like now, when he is cast and everything, it's like just Goldblum it. Okay.
I mean, he self-produced and directed that documentary series. It's on Disney Plus that he also hosts. Yeah, it's all his stuff. Like he wrote it. It was his. It's his baby.
I didn't realize that. I thought someone was like, "I'm going to cash in on this Goldblum craze."
No, if you look at it, it's like directed by Jeff Goldblum, written by Jeff Goldblum, hosted by Jeff Goldblum. It's all him. I think this is the most exposure he's gotten in terms of like he can just do whatever the fuck he wants now.
Yeah.
Now we see the real Jeff Goldblum.
And he's a pretty competent jazz pianist, isn't he?
Yeah, he said pianist.
Not as good as H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, where's Jeff Goldblum's album?
I'm pretty sure he has one. I think he does anyway. I'm pretty sure he's got to, right?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, I've told you, like, a lot of comedy music doesn't do anything for me, but I don't know what it was about that H. John Benjamin freeform jazz piano album that every time I listen to it kills me.
Even on repeated listens?
Yeah. I can't remember what song it is, but there's a specific song where he starts doing like call and answer with his session musicians, and he just like bangs on the keys and looks and goes, "Come on!" and shouts at him. Just start playing like the saxophone back at him.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred Schnitzer Orchestra. The debut album was in 2018.
The first song is Cantaloupe Island. The second one is Don't Mess with Mr. T. Sounds like a Jeff Goldblum album.
I was going to say, are you giving us titles from the Jeff Goldblum album or from the H. John Benjamin album?
No, it's the Jeff Goldblum album. This bitter earth, come on to my house. Caravan, yeah, okay. I need to listen to this. I'll write a review for Topless Robot.
I would play some, but we would almost assuredly get copyright stricken down.
Oh, immediately.
Disappointed.
So last night, myself, Tyler, and Dan played a game called Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
And God damn it, that was a lot of fun. And I heard Tyler make a noise that I've never heard Tyler make before. And we've been making Tyler play scary games for like 3 years now.
That noise I have never heard myself make before.
So Phasmophobia.
It was great because I was literally outside of the room that he was in, like banging on the window, just shouting, "Tyler, you're being attacked! Tyler, you're being attacked! Tyler, you're being attacked!" And he was just looking at the ground.
Oh man.
He
I'm trying to set up a motion sensor.
he actually covered his eyes, so he did not see the entirety of his death.
Yeah, he didn't even see his death animation because he just he shut his eyes.
And it's definitely something that we will be doing gameplay in at some point in the future. But it's basically you play a team of ghost hunters, and you start out with like pretty much nothing. You earn money by determining what type of ghost is haunting a place, and you can use that money to buy equipment to take out on other missions.
And when you take it out with you, if you die, you lose it, and you get like half of the money you spent back in like life insurance payouts.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
It's really cool. It's got voice recognition in it. So
the ghost knows its name.
Yeah, the ghosts get angry when you say their name, and
That's cool.
So there was one point where Tyler had a spirit box, the little radios that cycle through radio stations real quickly, like they have on BuzzFeed Unsolved and shit like that. And so Tyler was in the kitchen of this farmhouse and had the spirit box on, and he goes, "Where are you?" And it just goes, "Behind."
Really creepily too.
Yeah, it just uses like a British text-to-speech voice, so it's very flat.
Yeah.
Behind.
That sounds creepy.
It was fucking creepy. And then there's another part. I was we found a Ouija board in a closet, and you can actually ask it questions. So I was like, "Where are you?" Whatever the name of the ghost was. And the Ouija board started moving, and it said like "boy's bedroom."
Yeah.
And it was like we were in the boy's bedroom, and it was
Yeah, it was because normally because you could find the Ouija board anywhere in the house, and you could find it in the garage and say like, "Where are you?" And then it would just tell you what room to go to. But the Ouija board was in the closet of the room where the ghost already was.
And then Dan loses his connection while we're on our first run and getting attacked by the ghost.
And Ryan dies, so I'm left in this fucking house by myself going, "Guys, where are you?" And I had not played this yet. This is our first round. So I thought that this was a big thing just to fuck with me. Like, because Dan stayed in the van and he was like kind of directing us where to go. And I thought it was just Dan fucking with me, and that he actually becomes the ghost and was going to come and scare the shit out of me. So I'm like running around this house and this room, and this ghost is like popping up in front of me, and I'm hearing things gurgle and like everything's cold, and I'm just like, "Guys!" And at that point, I just left the house and texted our little group chat. I was like, "I'm leaving. How do I quit?"
The best part is, I'm in the van communicating over the radio with everybody the whole time. But when the ghost starts attacking, even if I hadn't disconnected, the radio doesn't work anymore. So they couldn't talk to me. So Ryan dies. I disconnect because my internet's trash. Tyler just talks over the radio to himself.
Yeah, the fucking shit out of
And
me.
I'm in VR, so like, when I'm we're in there getting attacked, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my left and out of the corner of my eyes, I just see these hands come out from the sides and cover my face. And then I
That's
died.
creepy. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It's
It actually
really cool.
is pretty fun. Even me being a little scaredy baby.
Dude, the
Like
fucking worst one was that goddamn high school. So we did a mission in an abandoned high school, which has too many rooms. And we're going through and checking every room to try and find out what room the ghost is in. And so we finally find it, but realize that we're missing some of the things that we need in order to determine what kind of ghost it is. So we decide
because Ryan dropped it.
So we decide to go back to the van to, resupply. And on our way out, Dan gets out the side door, Tyler gets out the side door, and then the door closes. And I thought that Dan was fucking with me. And he goes, "It's attacking you, dude. It's attacking you. Go into a side room, close the door, turn off your flashlight, and don't make a sound." And I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And my flashlight's like flashing and shit. So I just like go into whatever closest door next to me, close the door, turn off my flashlight, and just sit there and wait.
Yep.
And then I heard Dan over the radio, and I'm like, okay, everything is good.
The best part is, as we were walking towards the exit, because when the ghost attacks, it closes every exit to the building and locks it until it's done attacking. And I was going to say to Tyler, like, hey, you know what's really funny sometimes is you'll all walk out, and the last person in line will have the door shut on them. It's just bad luck. And I turned around and looked at the door and I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
so happy I wasn't the one. I'd be freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. That's a really great game.
Even, like I said, even being a scaredy cat and honestly having the worst time in that last one where I threw out an otherworldly shriek or whatever that was, I'm still not sure. But beyond that, the ones that we successfully completed were honestly really fun. It was like a fun, like little puzzle, and like you felt like a ghost hunter, and like it was like legitimately really freaky, and you're just like walking around this house and like, oh god. It was
that sounds cool as hell.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what more is coming for that game because it's in early access right now. So,
and it's like a one-man development team though, so don't expect a lot to happen very quickly. But enjoy what you can, Tyler, because once we get out of amateur difficulty, those timers go down before the ghost can start fucking with you. So, and you'll just stop getting amateur contracts eventually, so it just won't be a choice.
Yeah,
I'm going to walk into the house. I'm going to shout the ghost name 10 times. It's going to gurg in your ear, and you're going to run into a room and cry.
Yeah, dude, it's the fucking worst. And I apologize to all of our podcast listeners right now because this is going to be bad. But basically, you'll be, like in the room trying to get the ghost to do something. And all of a sudden you just hear like really loud, like in your ear and shit. And it's like, no, thanks. No, thanks. No, thank you very much.
Did you guys ever get the one where it like exhales into your ear?
Yeah, the first one we did.
When it does that, it's actually haunting you, and it does spawn behind you if anyone's looking. Like if you ever hear, it's right there. The model actually loads in when it does it to you.
Oh!
If you're in VR, you can actually turn around quickly enough to catch it.
So it's like Lisa in PT.
Yeah, well, because it's like when you're not in VR, it's stuck to your character model's like orientation, right? So if you turn your character model, the ghost is still behind you. But if you turn your head in VR, it's different. So you can turn your head and not rotate your body, and the ghost will just be there looking at you.
I would not do that because that would suck. Yeah, no. Come
on, you're the VR guy. You gotta take one for the team here.
No.
This is your comeuppance for having money. You have to be more scared than us.
I will buy VR sets for both Tyler and Dan. And then
I'll take it.
Because I was just playing on the first generation Oculus Rift, which I'm sure those have come down in price by now. I'll just buy you guys VR setups.
How about you buy me a computer that can run computer games?
That was the thing. I was gonna either invite you or Brooks to be our fourth because it's a 4-player co-op game, but neither of you can play it. It was a bummer.
Yeah, I don't think my computer could handle it. I know it sounds really fun though.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to just build a couple of extra like powerful gaming PCs.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to upgrade mine.
We'll need it to get everyone like playing games together, playing PC games together and stuff. Like I'll set them up with all the same stuff and with capture devices and capture software and all that kind of shit. And I think then we'll have our little command center out in the new studio whenever the fuck that happens.
Probably when the world resumes. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't want to play that game in VR.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
I
Nobody
really
wants
don't.
to.
I mean, I kind of wanted to. I wanted to get the real experience. Like it is a legitimately like different experience in VR.
Already made a noise I've
absolutely.
never made before. I don't need to do that again.
I will miss the ability to crab walk using those using those awful non-VR models.
But you don't really get the true sense for like the size of the high school, for example, unless you're in VR. Like you're in VR and you get that fucking, and you get the high school, you walk out and it's just, it's staggering. You're in that environment. You're not looking at a screen.
Just wait till I get you guys to pull up to the asylum with me, because you back the van directly into the doors. There's no outside. Like you walk from the front door in and out of the truck.
I don't want to go to an asylum. I already know. Those things scare me in like TV shows. Like even watching like Supernatural, which isn't actually scary. Like every episode that they're in an insane asylum,
He's scared of Supernatural.
Shut up.
He's scared of a WB Heartthrob show.
Oh my gosh.
Those shut up.
Oh, we love you, Tyler.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Good.
Okay, so next time you guys have to document it, because like these noises are too good to rob the rest of the world of.
Yep. I agree.
My throat still hurts from screaming last night.
Oh man. So
I surprised myself. Yeah. Anyway.
in other news, The Boys season 2 is fully out.
Fantastic. So, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Did you like season 1 or season 2 better?
I really liked season 2 a lot, actually. It was very relevant, eerily relevant. And I thought it was really well done. It had a lot of curveballs, I mean, you can, every time you feel like they're getting an edge, obviously it gets taken away from it. It's heartbreaking, but a lot of the things that were going on and the politics and stuff, they were all, I thought they were all well executed. And like I said, unfortunately, pretty on the nose in a sad yet entertaining way.
And another great part of season 2 is if you're lactose intolerant, you should watch this season, because you'll never want to drink milk again. Not only there's Homelander is very nasty.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's breast milk.
Love milk.
Yes.
Because Homelander's a little baby.
Very comparable for me to Denethor with his eating of cherry tomatoes in Return of the King. It's that same kind of just visceral, like, ugh, did you have to? Are you sure you want to drink milk? Like, come on.
Yeah, Jasmine's been watching it, and she told me how on the nose it has been.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, and Homelander's just a fucking creep. And yeah, unfortunately, we live in a world where people from comic books aren't exactly outside the realm of possibility, or, as caricature-like as they might have once been.
Yes. Yeah.
Anthony Starr as Homelander is just terrifying. He is honestly one of the most terrifying characters I have seen in fiction. Like,
and you guys have seen the viral photo going around, right? Because of Homelander's height, he had to wear heels.
I have not seen that.
Yeah. So it's basically him like very flamboyantly cross-legged, showing off his huge heel. They're like 4 or 5 inch heels.
That's funny.
Now I need to see this. That's also kind of funny because Anthony Starr is pretty tall. He's 5'11".
Huh.
Like, it's not like he's short by any means. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So you wouldn't know it, but yeah. And from chat, we're getting he chose to wear heels.
Yep.
Because the meme goes, okay, so I'll have to wear heels. Well, we can make platforms. Yeah, but can they be heels?
Well, it can, but it doesn't have to. I want heels, though.
Yeah.
And make them fabulous.
So yeah, it's pretty great.
I hadn't watched any of it until about 2 weeks ago. I didn't watch the first season all, but I'd heard about it, and so I started it, and it was very easy to binge.
Yeah, I loved
really
the first
good.
season. The first season really drags you in right away. Like the initiating conflict scene is, I made the podcast crew sit and watch at least to that point when The Boys came out, because it was definitely one of those moments where, you're watching them. It's like, yeah, I'm enjoying this show. I'm watching this show. And then something ludicrous happens and you're just like, jaw dropped. When she just explodes into, mist, I was just like, and he looks down at her hands in his hands.
That was in the first 5 minutes.
Exactly.
My God.
That is what caught me with this series.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't shy away from anything like that. It's pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
It is over the top.
So
extremely well written.
For the second season, I've only watched the first episode so far. But I do need to binge it.
You do.
Very good. And it introduces more interesting mysteries. Like, it's not just over the top violence and ridiculousness. Like, there are some really, like, I have no idea where one of these storylines is going to go, because it's actually a really cool little storyline, and that's central to the plot. And everyone who hasn't seen it needs to watch it, and that includes you, Ryan.
Yeah.
And not Dan. So I don't care. I've already given up on Dan.
There's a lot of good shows to be watching right now. Lovecraft Country, Raised by Wolves is all available now. The Boys is all available now. And Mandalorian Season 2 is coming up at the end of this month, I believe.
Yeah, I think October 30th is when it's supposed to come out.
And then
finally,
if you're an Animaniacs fan,
yeah,
new episodes of Animaniacs start up November 20th.
Kind of excited for that.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
Super stoked for that.
With the Mandalorian, they finally officially confirmed one of the actresses, and I'm totally blanking on her name right now. Oh my God.
You're great at this, Tyler.
Fascinating.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Shut up. Rosario
Outstanding.
Dawson.
Yes.
Jesus. They finally
the turf Rosario Dawson.
The what?
The turf Rosario Dawson. Remember?
Everyone's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Everyone's
That's gonna break Bentley's heart.
Yep. Rosario Dawson is a turf.
Fuck her, but
Also,
I like her choice. It like the choice of her as the character that she's going to be playing. So,
worth noting that on the topic of turfs, Not only are we absolutely beyond done with J.K. Rowling, but Eddie Redmayne, or whatever the fuck his name is, Newt Scamander from the Fantastic Beasts series.
Fantastic Beats. That is Noah's themed DJ nights at the Grid. Ryan, not the movies.
He has come to her defense, and in my opinion, she is indefensible. Like, it is not. It's comical to try and defend J.K. Rowling at this point.
Yeah,
to go down with fighting against accusations of being a TERF, all while making claims that trans women negate her experience as a female. The existence of trans women negate her experience as a natural-born female. And then releasing a new book where the killer is a man who dresses up as a woman and kills people in bathrooms.
Which is fucking great.
I'm not a TERF. I'm not a TERF. I'm not a TERF. Here's my new book.
Stoking the fear of fucking old ladies everywhere.
So, yeah, it's another one of those very, kind of depressing cases of that we're kind of having to face more and more now, is the separation of the art from the artist. Considering how big and influential Harry Potter has been as a property, do we take it away? Can it be appreciated, knowing that its creator is such a piece of shit? Do we take away all of Kevin Spacey's incredible films? Do we never watch American Beauty again? Do we,
The way I like to look at it is that when an artist births something out of the world, especially when that takes off as much as Harry Potter did. It's not really the artist's baby anymore. Like, fans have gone so much further with Harry Potter than JK will ever have. Yeah, she invented the story, but to me, Harry Potter is essentially about acceptance. Like, the thought that being born strange, there's a place for you somewhere. So the fact that, like, the basic idea of Harry Potter flies in the face of what J.K. Rowling obviously believes.
It's rolling like bowling, not rowling like howling.
I don't give a shit. She's a bitch.
Can I say?
Damn, Tyler's getting fucking spicy.
What's up, Kaylin?
I said, can I say cunt on this show?
Yes, we can.
I believe you just did.
Just curious. No.
But that's my view on that. And it's just, Harry Potter's mine, and I'm not going to let her ruin it for me. And to me, it's disappointing because I looked up to her as a writer and as a person, but at the same time, not all artists are good people. And in fact, I feel like we're finding out that a lot of artists are really shitty people. And it's a shame. You can kind of go back all the way back forever and find artists that were horrible people. Jimmy Page for Led Zeppelin.
We know Kaylin.
Yeah, Kaylin. Jesus. Ryan, technically, you're an artist, so.
Am I? Fuck. That would explain why I'm such a piece of human garbage.
Right.
God, all this time I thought I was just an asshole. But it turns out I'm an artist. I feel so much better about that.
Right. That's a whole line of please excuse my terrible behavior. Oh, I'm an artist. I'm an eccentric. Fuck you.
And it's why you can't really look at art these people. We can't really look at and put them on a pedestal. We can enjoy their art and love what they've brought to the world. But at the end of the day, they're people, and people are flawed, and some people suck.
That's
and
fair.
that's kind of that's a lot of people. Like, honestly, in a lot of ways, probably a majority of people. But
I would argue that no one doesn't suck. All people suck to varying degrees.
For some reason or another.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just don't understand how someone can invent this fantasy world of goblins and minotaurs and shit like that, and then fucking like can't do the mental gymnastic it takes to imagine that, you know, maybe people identify like how almost is she.
Well, it looks like Kaylin's bugging out on us.
Harry Potter. She can't fucking imagine a goddamn fucking thing like that.
Yeah.
I don't either. And that's what I don't get it either too, just because like what I said, like the essential idea of Harry Potter is little 11-year-old kid that grew up being an outcast finds a place where he not only belongs but is celebrated. Like that's something that the trans community, the LGBTQ plus community has been like, that's what they're like.
But even in that community, he is also picked on and bullied and, you know, favored by some and unjustly targeted by others.
Yeah, but it's pretty much made obvious that the people that make fun of Harry Potter in Hogwarts are total assholes.
It's like his Muggle world experience is so bad that being removed from that and being put into the stereotypical not popular kid in high school experience is a respite.
Yeah, and then he goes to school and like flexes his privilege of being like, whoever the fuck. My parents are
the one who survived.
I'm magical Jesus.
Yeah, don't you
the
see
one
my
who
lightning
lived.
bolt?
To be fair, he
I read
does
something about how like a tweet or something. The person said that they were surprised that J.K. Rowling didn't put 2 lightning bolts on Harry Potter's head.
Oh God! Wow, that took me a second.
I know. I was like, wait for it.
Stop ruining Harry Potter.
Oh. Look, we're not ruining Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling is.
No, J.K. Rowling's just proving herself
Like when your parents say, like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out of it. No one's more qualified to fuck up Harry Potter than the bitch who fucking fucked up Harry Potter.
Oh, God.
She's been kind of fucking up Harry Potter, or attempting to, and it's I mean, there's a very big population of Harry Potter fans that pretty much look at a lot of the stuff that she has written since over Twitter and whatever, even before all of the turf stuff. As like, you know, it's like, stop trying to make what you like, stop trying to go back and change things in Harry Potter. Yeah. Like the story's out there. Like you can't change it anymore. Stop this. You're just being insane. So, I mean, I don't know.
We have given her more than enough time in this episode of the podcast. What else has been going on this week?
What has gone on? Has anything really been? Baldur's Gate 3, the
Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate. Shut up.
Baldur's Gate 3 is in early access. So that is exciting. It's been like 20 years since the last Baldur's Gate game.
Friend of the show, William Yates, has been playing it. He likes it. It is very, very D&D. It is basically D&D in a game.
Yep.
And I watched a video of a dude killing a guy with a potato. He rolled a nat 20. It was hilarious. It made me laugh.
Nice. Good deal.
I kind of can't wait to play this game because of that.
Yeah, it's up on Stadia and on PC. Which for a day one Stadia release. That's a good get.
But it's only up through Act 1, I guess, right now. Or I don't know how far. They said they haven't gotten Act 2 and Act 3 finished yet. So.
Sure. So it is early access. And if history repeats itself, we'll see the final version in a year.
Hey, guess what, everyone? You get to pay to be a beta tester.
Yay.
That's been par for the course for so long now that doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. There have been some recent concerns. So Microsoft sent out Xbox Series X's or a prototype Series X's to press. And so they can, you'll see plenty of YouTube videos these days about just showing off the quick resume feature and comparing load times because the Series X will play, pretty much all the 1X games and stuff like that. And it's really looking very impressive in the way that it does that. It allows you to have basically several games available for quick resume. Like if you're playing a game and then you want to switch over to another game, you switch over to that other game, and then switching back and forth, like it basically saves the state to the drive, kind of the way the Nintendo Switch does that, or some portable systems have done that, where you can essentially power off the system and it kind of keeps it hibernated. But this will allow you to do it with multiple games, and so you don't lose your place in those games. You don't have to worry about save spots or anything like that. You can just pop right back into it and jump back between them with about like a 10 to 20 second load time, which is impressive. It's all looking very impressive. However,
I want to do that with my relationships.
Hold on, we're pausing this. we'll restore this one later. All right.
See you when I feel like it.
Yeah, I've just got ADD when it comes to this kind of thing. It's hard to commit to one game. I mean, you're polyamorous when it comes to video games, Ryan. I know.
Yeah. Apparently, some people have been reporting that it's getting very hot. They've been testing the SSDs, the Seagate SSD, and in pulling it out after it's been running, for a while, like it is hot to the touch, like burning your fingers hot. So little concern there, but we'll see. They're prototype units, so they're not necessarily representative of what we're going to see on November 10th. So
hasn't Microsoft had overheating issues on literally every console release?
Honestly, every main, the big two, Sony and Microsoft, have battled heat issues forever. Mm-hmm. On the original PlayStation, it meant, you had to flip your PlayStation upside down in order to play games.
Xbox 360.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah, I had to do that.
I never did that.
It stopped reading games. It was a common solution, and it was due to overheating. And so you had to flip it over and play it upside down in order to make the connection happen, basically, for gravity to make the connection that had been lost.
Wasn't there a red ring of death on the Xbox 360 because of overheating? Overheating
and desoldering due to overheating. Yeah. And that PlayStation issue that I outlined, it was the same issue. Just a solution was available for it. And what some people would do is they'd wrap their systems in towels.
I remember that. In
order to heat it up in an attempt to resolder the connection.
And then, of course, the PS4 sounding like a fucking jet plane when it tries to do anything more than load a screen.
Yeah, so
I've been playing No Man's Sky. Can't tell if it's my spaceship or my PlayStation.
It's been a constant battle for these, major companies, in trying to get the amount of power that they are into smaller and smaller form factors. So I think, considering the size of the PlayStation 5, being the largest home console ever, and the heaviest, it's a 10-pound console. It will be, and did you guys see the teardown video that Sony did? Like, they took the PlayStation 5 apart in a YouTube video and showed
I haven't
it.
seen it yet.
So you get a good comparison of the system all together next to a human. It is the size of the man's torso. Yeah.
Jesus.
He's a big
He's
boy.
a small man.
I mean, could be a small man.
Maybe they're gonna have a whole bunch of fans in there. So
There is only one fan in it, and it is full of heatsink. And
Last concert.
the white blades on either side can be taken off without tools. So we could see some, like customization stuff done to replace those white blades and stuff like that. That could be pretty neat. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. I mean, I have taken the entire week off for the release of the Series X and the PlayStation 5, and we'll probably do some streaming from them and see what it's all about.
Must be nice, Ryan. I want a pre-order. I have a feeling I won't see a PS5 until next year. I'm assuming.
Yeah, same, but for different reasons.
So if I quarantine for 2 weeks, I can come over and help you test those babies out, right?
Yeah.
You only play one at a time, right? You're not that ambidextrous, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do picture-in-picture on my 77-inch TV in the living room.
It's one hand and 1 foot per controller.
Yes.
That's how he does it.
Yep. That's how I roll.
Looks like a yogi.
In hey boo boo.
Not that kind of yogi, Ryan.
Ryan is not smarter than that.
I'm pretty sure that was actually kind of offensive. Well done.
Did you guys see IGN did a real hard drive move this past week with their FIFA 20 review?
Oh, yeah.
They copy pasted a review from the previous one.
They did lower the
That
score,
was
though.
so good. That was fucking killer. They so for FIFA 20, they just copied and pasted the score for or the review from FIFA 19 and lowered the score to 2.
Even said in the
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I think you were about to talk about the exact same thing.
Right. Yeah, because EA admitted that there are no significant changes to this year's release of FIFA on the Switch.
Yep.
It even literally says in the game description, like, there are no changes. Like, what the fuck? How ballsy can you get, EA? Like,
At that point, then what is the only iteration is the is player stats, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's just a roster increase, a roster upgrade, and maybe, I'm assuming, maybe some kind of visual.
So why not make it an update?
Because they can package it for $60 or $70 and people will still buy it.
$70 now. Yeah, for 20. Isn't that going to be fucking great when we're paying $70 for roster upgrades for sports games?
Well,
Consumers are stupid.
It's a good thing I don't play any of those games.
I like sports, and I haven't bought a sports game since 2013.
I haven't bought a sports game since NBA Jam.
See, that's the thing. Like, you can like sports and still not like sports games. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's actually more fun
The closest thing
than it is to play sports games because I can drink beers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can drink beers and play sports games too.
Yeah, but you need to use the controller for that. I can just sit at a table while an actual game is on and just like drink a beer.
That's the nice thing about modern sports games is they force you to watch commercials, so that's when you can drink the beer.
God, I forgot about that. Holy shit!
Yeah.
The outrage I experienced when I watched someone play UFC on the PS4 and it played commercials. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow,
Yeah,
that I hadn't heard about.
It's fucking bullshit.
Good Lord.
And they still are gonna charge us $70. Go
Plus
fuck
microtransactions.
it. Yeah.
Those are
And
macro
don't let-
transactions.
Let's not forget about the with FIFA their trading card. Like I forget what they call the mode, but you like buy packs of cards that that you get players for and make your own team. It's like FIFA Ultimate Team or something like that, and you literally buy. Like it's like DLC and you create your own team and it's like and you get rare players or common players and shit like that.
It's a fucking gacha.
It is. It's
Oh no.
they make a shit ton of money off of it. He's found a spicy boy.
Yeah, I think you
I got a habanero one. Oh yeah. Ah,
I want one. I'm jealous.
ah.
There's the spicy boy. I was wondering.
And what
I thought I
sucks
was like,
is they're chewy, so you can't like force a swallow on it. You gotta like it just stays in your mouth for a while. Oh.
I was like, Ryan, I know that the FIFA Ultimate Team is like is a travesty, but you seem so
try.
emotionally pained.
Yeah.
Oh. Ah.
I believe in you, Ryan. We're here. We're in this together. I mean, only you are experiencing the pain, but
I'm actually disappointed in you for reacting this way. I'm embarrassed.
At least he admitted up front that he wasn't going to be able to handle it very well.
He did. Yes. It's true.
I
Well,
honestly
and
would've
especially
lost my mind.
it sneaks up on you. You know, like these are really, really tasty, and it's even still sweet. It just has habanero in it too.
Mm,
Sounds delicious.
that sounds really delicious. Yeah.
So
Sounds like a Mexican candy.
it's
For
tasty.
maximum comedy, Ryan, you should have just been like, "Nah, dude, I could eat a handful of these habanero chews. It's nothing."
I
And
would've
then just be
died
like,
if- I would have died if Kaylin. She's like, I'm disappointed in you, Ryan. I can't be associated, and just logged out.
Kaylin would never do that to me.
Podcast.
you have lessened my brand.
This is some bullshit.
No, I mean, you know, if you're expecting habanero, then it's fine. Like I love mango habanero wings and you know shit like that. Like that's fucking great.
Wings sound
When you're
tasty.
just like eating candy and one of them happens to be habanero, it catches you by surprise. It takes you by the scruff.
I mean, it's kind of your fault, though. You should be expecting it. You're eating a bag of candy that says you probably are going to have a habanero in here
But
some
that's
point.
only the second one in the bag. That's the second one in the whole bag. There are only 3 left.
You're a disappointment.
I hate you.
Go to your room and think about what you did. Are you putting Visine in your eyes?
Fucking Gordon Ramsay over here.
For a second, I thought you were like actually like in pain and trying to lessen the pain with Visine.
These crocodile
Kaylin-
tears are so believable.
Kaylin said he hates me.
What a ham.
Man, Ryan, you should be an actor. That was very believable.
There's a reason I am a voice actor.
You told me that We don't have the power to cry on command.
Actually, I do.
I was gonna say, I feel like you would be able to.
Yeah, I can. Oh man. So, Kaylin, how did your stream go on Tuesday?
It was really good. Yeah, we streamed with Mega Ran. It was cool. We ended up recording it the day before because to avoid any logistical hitches or anything, Mega Ran kind of requested that we do it. So, and it was fine for us. We did it all live anyway, like the day before, but we just recorded it and sent it to him so he could just play it right away.
I was wondering how you were able to message us.
Yeah, no, I figured that was probably the case.
Kaylin has the first neural uplink. He just didn't want to tell us.
Yeah.
When did you become friends with Elon Musk?
It's it was fun though. It's nice doing it the day before. There's less pressure.
Yeah.
That's a smart idea. I generally most of like the live stream concerts I've watched have gone well, but I just watched one on Friday that they had a lot of issues where like the first couple songs they played were in mono because
Uh-oh. Speaking of issues.
Yeah. Point exactly.
Yep.
That was perfect timing.
Very, very good timing.
Just like yesterday when we were playing last night, he kept getting power surges.
Yeah. His power went out.
I was just saying, like, if I was playing fucking that game and then my power surged, I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck.
Scary.
I know I have mixed feelings about the whole pre-recording thing. It depends on how it's being marketed. Because I paid for VIP access to the NoFX live stream, the backyard at Fatty's, or whatever. And it was NoFX, Bad Cop, and Fishbone, and Get Dead, and Slightly Stupid, and Laura Jane Grace, and someone from Avenged Sevenfold, and a bunch of comedians and shit like that, just like a party in his backyard. And so the VIP tickets gave the sense that you were going to be able to interact with the band and, you know, like hang out basically. Welcome back.
That was the perfect timing.
It could have taken any of the chances to disconnect me while I'm not talking.
This is why you record first, okay? Because there might be some sort of
This is a perfect example.
It is. Yeah, I don't trust the internet.
So, but it gave I don't know at this point why I paid for VIP access. Because they gave you the sense that you were going to be able to interact with the bands in the green room, and then basically just watch a live stream throughout the night. Basically, they wandering camera throughout the night. Nope, it had all been recorded 2 days prior. The entire thing had been recorded 2 days prior, and it was still cool to watch, but now all of it's up on YouTube.
You got to see it first, Ryan. So
I paid $25 for VIP access to something that didn't have clear VIP benefits, and wasn't actually live.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I prefer to do things live, and like I said, we did all ours in one take. The only advantage of doing it ahead of time is A, no internet problems. B, we are able to tweak the levels in a way that we wouldn't be able to since it's just two of us, and make sure it sounds better for the people watching it. We added some things on the green screen behind us just visually because we're, we're standing there. We don't have someone to operate the camera because we're still in quarantine. But also we can interact with people while it's happening and engage people, which is nice to be able to like what we did a live stream a couple weeks ago, and we had some of our friends from Japan watching, and we were able to talk to them during. And but yeah, if you're doing were you able to like have access to talk to the people in the so
there was a chat, but I don't want to talk to those people because that was just a bunch of obnoxious shit.
Oh God, every single live concert I've watched since this has started, it's just people in chat going, wish me and my wife a happy anniversary, or wish my son a happy birthday because he's here with me. Like, I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your wife. I don't care about your husband. Nobody else does. Not even the band.
The only streamed show that I've watched that I've like paid to watch that I've been happy with was Leprous earlier this year. In May, Leprous did a stream, and they've got another one coming up. And that was amazing. Because it was clear that it was live. The lead singer, like, they started the stream and they're like in, a studio, and the lead singer is like clearly monitoring the chat. Like, he's sitting there with his phone monitoring the chat and kind of like bringing up some of the things that people are saying in chat to his bandmates and whatnot before they go out. And then once they go out, expertly mixed, multi-camera setup with multiple cameramen. It was really incredibly well done.
I've got to ask something out of just morbid curiosity. Since I've been listening to Leprous for so long, I still haven't actually heard him do anything other than sing. Is he difficult to understand when he's just talking to the audience?
No.
Okay.
Didn't I send you a link? I sent you.
He's Swedish, I think. So
Norwegian.
He's Norwegian. Okay.
I sent you my login and the link to watch that show.
I remember you sending that. Now that you bring it up, and then I probably immediately forgot the moment I closed the chat.
It is worth watching because it is stunning what they were able to achieve live, and it should set an example. For people. Like, there's no reason that you should have poorly mixed live streams these days. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to have a multi-camera setup, aside from finances, obviously, but technically none of these things have ever been more accessible.
Right, but I mean, by having multiple cameras and multiple cameramen, it almost defeats the purpose of a quarantined live show. I mean, you're just that's the kind of shows we're putting on. We're putting it on as a means to an end. I would love to do like a well choreographed, dynamic live stream, but then all of a sudden you've got other people involved, and that kind of defeats a lot.
My counter to that is have multiple static cams, and next to your keyboard have a stream deck.
I don't have a job.
Fair.
I don't have a job. I don't have real shows to play. I would love to do that. And we've done one where I had my iPad next to me and I got the Twitch feed up and stuff. But yeah, I agree. It's would be really great to do all that.
If you're a big touring band that has a shit ton of extra cash to throw around,
and I would love to,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But local bands.
Yeah.
Right, I would love to do that, and I would love to have all our drums mic'd up. But I mean, that's just we're. I would love to have all that available to me, but essentially, if this wasn't the case, we'd be on the road right now, and I wouldn't need any of that stuff. And but I agree that would be really, really sick, but it's just not within our means at this point.
I wish we could have all our drums mic'd up, but I spent all my life savings on my hot sauce collection.
I think that you should do the next Snailmate live stream from my house.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we would love that.
I know that you and Bentley have been super careful about who you've been interacting with, especially since Bentley's been recovering and stuff. So he's probably more susceptible because his body's already trying to heal. So, and I haven't barely fucking left my house since March. So
Yes.
I feel comfortable setting you guys up in the casita and like with some lighting, with some, I'll push you through the soundboard. We'll mic up the drums, at least with some overheads. And yeah.
That'd be sick. I would love that.
Speaking of hanging out with people, I saw my grandparents last week and they're not great at social distancing. I just wanted to announce I am COVID free. I went and got a test just to fucking make sure.
You've got to be the only person in the country who is not afraid for your grandparents. You're afraid of your grandparents during a pandemic.
Yeah, that's honestly most people's excuse to not go places. Like, well, I got to see my grandparents. I don't want to put them at risk. And you're like, I got to fucking see my grandparents. They're going to kill me.
Pretty much how that went. I love my grandparents, but
it was definitely both for me. Like I still am scared for my grandfather because he's going out and doing shit all the time. But whenever I would interact with him, I'm like, man, I'm putting myself at a bigger risk hanging out with him than he is hanging out with me.
Yeah,
right.
That's for sure.
yep, that's how I felt with my grandparents. They were going to restaurants and, they wore masks. But as soon as you go inside to a restaurant, you take your mask off. And it's just like, but I'm free and they're alive. So I do worry for them a lot. But they're alive, so I don't know.
And I applaud you getting tested. Just even though you didn't feel like you were sick or anything.
I had some sniffles on Friday. And a little bit of
so
tiny bit
he
of a
had
sore
a
throat.
little scare.
I had planned on getting tested anyway, and that was just like an extra. I was like,
were you freaking out?
A little bit.
When you got the sniffles? Oh no!
Yeah, I'm like, no!
I know. I woke up and like my throat was a little dry from like sleeping with my mouth open under the fan. I was like, "It's over for me."
So, did anyone watch the vice president debate?
Watch the highlight.
I already know exactly how it was going to go, and I was 100% right when I listened to like a couple highlights.
Yeah.
You didn't expect the fly. No one expected the fly.
No one expected the fly. The fly is, someone posted the full from landing to leaving. That fly was on his head for 2 whole minutes. And Jasmine and I watched the debates. The second that fly landed, we could not pay attention to anything that was being said from there on out.
And flies don't just stay in one place.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Especially if you're moving your head and like gesturing.
Yeah. That within minutes, I counted over 5 fly Twitter accounts.
Remember when that bird landed on Bernie's podium?
Yep. This is kind of like the opposite of that.
It's the Halloween season.
Yeah.
Bernie's a Disney princess and Pince is Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies.
Fair. I was going to say he's a pile of shit, but sure,
That too.
we'll go with Beelzebub.
My favorite part of it is the Biden campaign's Twitter afterwards shows.
They are actually selling fly swatters in the Biden store.
Fly swatters.
Oh, did they sell out?
Immediately?
Beautiful. That is beautiful. See, that is social media marketing right there. That was a brilliant move on their part.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Jim Carrey's Biden on SNL?
No,
think
I
they
did
did a
not.
Good job. They
Oh.
definitely do a really good job with the makeup, if nothing else.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I
You
did
guys
see
have-
his drawing of Pence, though.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You need to watch. You guys, you need to watch the president. They do the cold openings. 2 weeks ago was the presidential campaign, and then last week was the vice presidential campaign.
Yeah.
Or this week, and it's fucking hilarious. It is.
Yes.
It's
Looping
Biden.
back to our Jeff Goldblum conversation.
yeah.
Jim Carrey's Jeff Goldblum impersonation as the Fly. It was a layered impression.
It's brilliant.
Jim
It's
Carrey as Joe
brilliant.
Biden as Jeff Goldblum as a Fly.
All right, fair enough. I'll have to check that out.
Jim Carrey at his most ridiculous best.
We got our early ballots and have voted. I thought it was my I voted sticker was funny because he has all of the
I'm just a
emotionally
big girl.
exhausted. Yay!
Right. He's like, I did it, but I'm dead inside.
Yeah, exactly. This I feel is the perfect sentiment for this election. Yeah.
Like, I just survived a car crash.
Oh my god. They knew what they were doing.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way they didn't know what they
Oh,
were
yeah.
doing.
He is not elated. He is
reconciled.
Yeah.
He understands the pain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now I want like a really depressed cover of I'm just a bill.
And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Make it an emo song. I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. So we have gotten to the end of the episode. What video games you guys been playing this week?
When I was a young Bill. Sorry.
I've still been just putting a lot of time into No Man's Sky. It's been a really nice escapism.
It's
for me.
so good.
And it's been really good to, like, I've been over here at Bentley's, and I can play with my little brother, and that's really cool. And I would like to play with you guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
You definitely need to set that as jump on sometime because that's
Yeah.
that's a blast.
The way that the multiplayer works on it is really great now, and it's cool to just jetpack around and like dig shit up and like fuck around. Me and my brother were building a base together, and neither of us have ever been interested in any sort of base building in games before. But when we were doing it together, it was a lot of fun.
Right on.
So yeah, it was really cool.
That's something that I'm surprised about too. I actually enjoy the base building as well, and that's something I honestly have always hated.
Always avoid that shit in
Yeah,
games.
I have not gotten into the base building too much. Like I've got the most basic base possible in No Man's Sky because I am loving exploring, like going out and finding shit and flying around. Like that is what takes me in, especially like having my own freighter and shit. Like all that stuff is so rad.
It is. Even when my freighter gets like damaged on a mission, it comes back and I have to like manually like fly over to it and like fix its shit up. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like
Yeah.
climbing a ladder so I can go like repair a terminal. And it's like, it sounds mundane, but I'm like, it's cool. Like it's a unique experience that is very immersive. And like I said, there's nothing I want more than to be light years away from this fucking planet that I currently live on. So
Have you
Thank you,
done
man.
have you done the derelict freighters yet?
yeah, and that's a nice change of pace too, because you're like,
pretty
you
fun.
can't really run or fly. You're kind of crawling through. Your goggles are all iced over, and there's like abyssal horrors like
Huh.
running around. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I
pretty
have
cool.
not gotten to do that yet.
It's a nice like all of a sudden kind of horror, survival horror like mini game.
Right on.
Mhm.
Nice.
And you get some nice gear out of it too.
Yeah, you upgrade your freighter storage and shit like that if you want.
Cool.
It's a blast.
Only 5 million units.
Only 5 million.
You get one for free, and I forget how you do it. Oh, you have to get it from the Rift or whatever. Or the,
Okay. Tyler, what have you been playing?
Well, a lot of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Really?
Yeah, I picked it back up because I wanted to play Pokemon, and then I was playing Crystal, but it just I also kind of ended up lost my charger somewhere, so I don't know where that went. But so I was like, I want to play Pokemon. So I picked up the Switch, and I'm like I was gonna play Shield, but then I was like, no, I want to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I never actually finished it, and I didn't realize how much they added later game, because I never really got super far. I got to Vermilion City and got the 3rd badge, but wow, like I've been playing through, and the quality of life upgrades that they've made in it are just fantastic. It's really, really cool. Like in this, not Silphco, in Celadon City, there's a point where you go into the gambling hall or gambling arcade kind of thing, and you like go underneath it, and there's a Team Rocket hideout down there, right? And it's the same kind of thing, but like when you go into the final room and you have to fight the last 3 bosses or whatever, it becomes really cinematic and cool, and like you have like a discussion with Giovanni, and he's like walking out, and it's like a really like it kind of brings the gravity of his character to life a little bit better, which is really cool. And like there's some fun just differences, little mini changes here and there. The whole idea that you don't have to use HMs for your Pokemon anymore, and you just you have the special things with Pikachu, and it's fun. I'm loving it. It's bringing me back, but it also made little changes that make it better. I still wish I could fight Pokemon in the wild, but that's the only downside. I'm enjoying it.
All you gotta do is give it a throw.
I still never got one of those.
I love it. I think it is a great way to play.
Oh yeah, I need to pick one up.
How about you, Ding?
I mean, basically, I've just been playing a lot of that Phasmophobia game with my Discord gang.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to have all that extra equipment for you guys to use. So I could, so Kayla and I had head-mounted cameras that I made them both wear every mission, so I could sit in the van and watch.
That's pretty cool.
And Tyler is super jumpy when he's moving around, so his camera's always like jerking around every time something happens.
Giving you motion sickness. This game's really, really cool.
Yeah, we definitely have to stream in it at some point.
I had a similar experience to what I gave you guys, where I played with somebody who's like a stupidly high level and has a huge backlog of all of the equipment. So he would just load in and say like, well, I'm not going in because if I die, I'm losing like thousands of dollars in equipment. So you guys can use all my stuff and go in there and get your neck snapped by the ghost. Have fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
I went in totally blind.
And everything to it.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, you do have to. You get levels really easily. Like it's always 100 experience per level, no matter what. And once you hit like level 7 or 8, I think you can buy everything in the game. So it doesn't take long.
Nice.
Yeah, and I went into the whole thing completely blind. I don't think Tyler and I looked up anything at all. Nope. And it just made the experience that much better.
I literally had no idea. The only time I had actually even heard of it was from Dan, and then like literally yesterday before we played, I think GameSpot wrote an article about it. Or IO. I can't remember which one, but I just saw it. I was like, oh, hey, finally saw actual mention of this outside of Dan.
I'm telling you, man, it's getting that crazy success in a similar way that Among Us is. People started streaming it, and it brought it into the public eye in a pretty big way.
That's so cool. And it's one dude, you said?
As far as I know, I think that's what one of my friends told me. It's just one person. He's got like a roadmap of things that he plans on developing, but he's working alone. And I don't think he ever expected the game to be that successful, obviously, you know? At least not all at once, because it exploded.
That's badass.
Yeah, Kaylin, you should reach out. Actually, a couple of people you should reach out to. The developer for Phasmophobia and whoever kept Among Us alive, because that came out in 2018 and like pretty much the entire team who made it left. And there was just a diehard, few people keeping it alive until it has now taken the fuck off.
I love hearing shit like that. Good on him.
Yeah, it deserves it. It is a solid fucking fun gameplay loop. So
both. I also been playing Among Us, by the way, and still enjoying it. Still very fun.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. They did a real good job with it. Jackbox Party Pack 7 comes out this week.
Yeah, can't wait.
When do you guys normally play that?
Wednesdays. Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Sometimes I play on Fridays too.
Sometimes on Fridays. Yeah.
Okay.
We have been playing a lot of Among Us, but this past Wednesday we actually played Jackbox.
And we're going to have to do Jackbox when the new Jackbox comes out.
Oh yeah. How about you, Ryan? What have you been playing?
I told you all that I bought a bunch of broken 2DSs. I did successfully make 2 functional 2DSs out of those. Nice. Fully functional 2DSs. So, and I can't remember how in depth I got on this or when I did this or whatever, like if I talked about it on the stream. So mine, the shell is the limited Mario Maker edition shell. So it's yellow and red and has a little Mario on the bottom on the front and says Super Mario Maker on the back, even though Mario Maker for 3DS is absolute hot garbage. And so I made one for Jasmine as well. I used a combination of shells to give her a unique 2DS. So one of the 2DSs, the broken 2DSs that I bought was pink. So all the accents were pink, but the shell itself was white. So the buttons were pink and the sides were pink and stuff like that. And then I had 2 black and red ones and 1 blue and red one, I think. So I took the pink accent pieces from that pink one and mixed them with the black shell. So it's a black shell, pink buttons, pink D-pad, pink triggers, pink sides, and even the stylus holder on the back is pink, but it's black and pink. So it's a unique combination. They never made anything like that, and it's more fitting Jasmine's style. So I made, myself the Mario Maker one, made Jasmine the black and pink one, hacked them both, and loaded them both with 3DS and 2DS and regular DS games. And it's so I've been playing a bunch of 3DS games that I never really kind of got to. Some of the Mario and Luigi stuff, I started playing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, which is a crossover between Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games. So that's
so you mean
been
like
pretty fun.
Original Paper Mario?
Yes. Yeah.
Loud screeching in here.
Except we're also talking like narratively a crossover too, not just mechanically.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, playing, just, reaching into the now dead, 3DS's history and, playing some games that I missed, as they were coming out.
Isn't it kind of weird to say that? The now dead 3DS.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good chance we will never see a new actual regular Nintendo handheld. Like,
yeah,
they might just continue on with the Switch. I mean, it works so well. Why the fuck not?
just hybridize that shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I am wondering if if Microsoft and Sony will, follow suit, because I don't want the Vita to be Sony's last attempt at getting into the handheld game. I would love to see Sony do another system.
I can't imagine they will, considering everyone's just going to be able to play, their PlayStation on their phones and everything now.
I honestly thought,
at least Nintendo, or not Nintendo, Xbox, you can stream it onto your...
Well, sure, Xbox you can.
Right, I would imagine PlayStation would probably go that route.
Well, they've already got PlayStation Now, and they had beat Microsoft to the punch by several years with PlayStation Now, but the only time it ever appeared on mobile was on Sony Xperia phones. And it was only a specific phone, I think. So, and they only ever put it on on like a couple of models of their TVs, and they abandoned that years ago. So go ahead.
I would assume, though, I think that what Kalen's more saying is that if they're going to look at a market to jump into to compete with, it'd be that one with
as
Game
opposed
Pass,
to making all new hardware and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong, but I will say that of the streaming services that I have, which is pretty much all of them. So I have GeForce Now, I have PlayStation Now, I have Stadia, and I have Game Pass Ultimate. Microsoft streaming is the worst of all of them.
Really?
In reliability, in connection, in everything. I experience more glitches and poorer quality streaming with Microsoft than any other service.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's surprising considering how popular and well received it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what it is. Like, I'm even connected to Wi-Fi. I'm not even trying to do it over cellular. And and I can stream high quality over Wi-Fi in my room on my TV. Has no problem with high quality video, 4K video. So yeah, It's weird.
Because they're really pushing hard and touting that as like a main draw. You'd think that they would have their infrastructure a little more in place.
You'd think.
Could
Be a little tighter.
Could it maybe be the it's also the most massive, like, open to the public kind of thing. Like, there's a much bigger audience on Game Pass than there is on those others. Maybe they're still working on increasing.
I would be curious to see the actual streaming numbers for those services before I make that call, because since now xCloud is something that's bundled with Game Pass Ultimate, you can't go off Game Pass numbers.
Yeah.
Because Game Pass is not a streaming service. Game Pass is just a game service that has streaming.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to know how many, regardless, I think Game Pass is fucking worth it, because all the games that you get as part of that collection, there's a lot of, not just a lot of games, but a lot of good games to be had there. And especially at the start of this next generation, it's a great, what, are you okay? What have you done?
Bite your cheek?
No, I got really bad TMJ. And my jaw just locked. Want to hear something gross?
Oh, no. On that note, thank you, everyone, for watching it or listening. We'll see you next week.
We've gone over our time here today, man.
Ow, it really hurts.
Subscribe.
5.